Hello, fellow YouTubeite. Today, we're going to take you on a trip to show you how an article of clothing or garment is made. I started an apparel company 2 or 3 years ago. Anyways, started an apparel company a few years back in an effort to raise money for kids in the city of Philadelphia. And one thing that became apparent to me is that I have no idea how any of these fabrics, articles of clothing, garments get here or are made. We tried to start making things more either Philadelphia or in the USA. We realized it's really hard to find that kind of stuff happening. So we got in contact with a company, American Giant, who makes all of their garments 100% in the United States. They offered to show us every step of the process, every chain, every was it line in the chain? Is that the right way to say that? You get what I'm saying. Every step of the process, you're gonna see how American Giant takes cotton to a t-shirt. Starts with the farmer that plants the cotton, sows it, I think is the correct term, then harvests it. And they take that cotton that is turned into a pod to the ginning facility, the next step of the process, where they take that pod of cotton and clean it into a more pure form of lint cotton. I think lint and cotton might be the same thing. Then it goes to the yarning facility, where that cotton is then turned into yarn, which is ready to be turned into fabric. We're gonna miss these two steps, where the yarn is turned into fabric and where that fabric is dyed, because we didn't have enough time to hit those two steps. But then we are gonna see the final step, and potentially most important, I don't know if I should say that. I don't wanna, Andrew's planting the shit. All right, so yeah, you're gonna see the cut and sew process where they turn that fabric into whatever garment they're making and whatever garment you're wearing. It was a really cool thing to learn and see all the people that it takes to make one t-shirt and the amount of people that touch that thing. So I think you guys are gonna enjoy it.
The basic perspective about, and textiles in some ways is the most interesting one to look it through because it's such an easy offshored industry. There's just a real kind of animated quality to everyone here that is just like, give us a fighting chance. Starting in about 1980,
yeah,
there was a big movement towards kind of libertarian economic thinking. Open up capitalism and open up trade.
Yeah, globalism,
globalism,
decrease war.
And that was bipartisan, by the way. It was the Clintons and the Bushes both who felt really strongly, if you open up trade, not only will you benefit the US consumer, but you will also bring China into the first world order and they'll become a partner on the world stage.
Yeah.
That has been
unfortunately has not worked out.
It's been a colossal misjudgment. Starting back then, we put consumption at the center of foreign policy, meaning we're going to tune trade deals and our approach to macroeconomic strategy and thinking around getting flat screen TVs cheaper and cheaper and made where they can be made most efficiently, and that has worked, right?
It objectively has been good in some categories.
Totally. There's a benefit to a lower income American being able to walk into a Walmart and buy a flat screen TV for $75. But we traded for that good middle class communities and jobs.
Yes.
You need to have a worker centered economic approach, not a consumer centered economic approach. So we're going right here. You'll meet Andrew is the farm owner, it's Bissett Farms. And this is the cotton picker here, and these fucking machines are amazing, Jason, when you see them.
Can't wait to check this out. Andrew, how we doing, brother?
Man, how you doing?
Thanks for having us out. How long have you been doing cotton?
Shoot, we've been growing cotton since probably '98.
Holy cow. How much has the process changed since '98?
I mean, the machine planting and all the same and all that stuff.
Yeah, how long have you been using a machine like this?
This is actually my third year with this machine.
Yeah.
The other way, I was running 2 basket machines. I had a tractor and a bowl buggy.
Yeah.
And then 2 more tractors with 2 packers.
Oh my
and they
gosh.
had 7, 8 people. With this machine, you just one person.
One person.
Cotton 70 cents a pound. That ain't a lot of money.
Like 70 cents a pound. Does that depend on the quality of it?
Well, that's the market price right now. Like
Okay.
the commodity price. If you want to pick some,
I would love to pick some.
well, let's go.
All right, cool. Sounds good, Andrew. Hey, this is awesome, brother. Now, have you been in this area your whole life?
Yes, sir. My daddy's actually the mayor of this small town.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. How have you seen this community change over the years?
We're losing farmland. Right around the corner right here, there was 120 acres of farmland been farmed on this aqueduct. Yeah. They're building 150 houses right here.
Oh, wow.
And in another place, right outside of town, they're building 80. Another place, they're building 120. That's just all over the last 5 years.
What's causing?
I reckon everybody's just trying to get out of the big city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, we ain't far from Raleigh. Yeah, we ain't 30 miles from Greenville.
You got a family, Andrew?
Yes, sir. I got married. I got a little girl that's 7, and I just had twins. They're gonna be 6 months old.
Oh my goodness, congratulations. That's awesome, man. I got 3 girls. I got another girl on the way. I love them. They're adorable.
Another thing here, with the houses and stuff, and the deer.
Oh yeah.
The deer is terrible.
They won't mess with the cotton though, will they?
They won't mess with the cotton, but the soybeans, you got to be careful. They'll
eat that, yeah. What do you do to keep them out?
You try to shoot them, but we got, I got a permit. I ain't gonna go shoot a deer right in somebody's yard.
Right. What is the process of growing cotton?
From start to finish?
Yeah.
Come out here and spray, kill off all the weeds.
Yep.
And then I got a tool, a brick strip, to make a good, nice seed bed. And I come back with the planter and sit right down and follow his line, plant my cotton, of course spray and keep the weeds out and the bugs. If you don't control it, it'll grow just like a tree.
Really? Yeah, I had no idea that it would keep growing up just like a tree.
It ain't like a soybean. A soybean, you plant that,
let it go.
Just let it go.
Will this field be bare just for the rest of winter and then you'll replant in the spring?
Yeah, most of the time our rotation will be, we'll go soybeans behind cotton.
Soybeans fix a bunch of nitrogen in the ground.
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole Dust Bowl thing, right?
Yeah.
They weren't rotating and the ground just kept getting more bare and bare.
That's right.
Like how many passes do you got to do to get like a full bale?
Probably about 4 passes. Sitting right there with all the seed and everything, that bale weighs about 5,500 pounds.
What?
Yeah.
God damn.
I think y'all gonna go to the gym too.
Yeah, we're gonna go see that process too, yeah.
You like them girls up there, they're nice.
That's awesome.
That's why we do well with each other, because I'm the one that calls the boys.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be fine.
And then we have these great things
Fire and
right
ice.
here on our desk. These are
Those
stress
are
pigs.
adorable.
And so we know if I come in here and Ivy's pig is like this,
Ask Tatum what happened to her little one.
What happened to the little one?
he died.
He died? How did he die?
He died.
He got ripped apart.
Yeah. But these are great.
Yeah, this is cool.
And
Can
I
I-
mean, without even having to ask what's wrong, you just look at the pig.
It gets better every time I'm here.
You know what? Everything is going in a good direction, but today, after y'all leave, I need you to all try to help force this farm bill to pass.
Trust me.
This whole entire operation, when I send my trucks out, when all these folks are in here working right now, I do all of this free of charge. Because it's competition and people are hungry for the business because so many farmers have already gone out.
Yeah.
And so how I make my money is solely off of marketing the cotton seed, which I'll show you how that's separated from this limb.
What in this farm bill is going to help these cotton farmers and you out
Let me
specifically?
grab it. I got it.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Shows right here the revenue of what it costs for the farmers. These are all the commodities here.
Yes.
Of course, I'm focusing on cotton.
Yeah.
So right here, it's negative.
Yeah, that's not good. I do want to talk about this stuff though. I think that's in the
This is
story
no-
about how you got this gin. I think is vital to. That's what people connect with. People are going to be really excited about the gin process. I'm really excited about that, but people really be excited to hear about you. All right.
Okay.
Well, when my husband and I purchased the place in 2019, Ivy's father-in-law was one of the original owners. We actually met in 2002, and I looked at her and I was like, I'd like to be her friend, but we never.
I looked at her, I complimented her outfit. I was like, oh, she looks cool.
After my husband passed, I am an own hands person. You know, like I went to school to be a certified ginner, and the office is not my cup of tea. So Ivy, it was a perfect opportunity, and because I knew I had to even step up my game once he passed, and so Ivy came to work for me in 2022. And actually, I like to correct myself, not for me, with me. This is what we call the module feeder. Once it gets to the end down here, it's the dispersal head. It's full of spiked cylinders, so it's breaking the cotton up.
Oh yeah, you can see right in.
Yep. So see, it drops it down. This is like at the state fair with a little duck. Yeah.
Okay, it's pretty loud in this facility. It's kind of like a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory for cotton. Just so you guys know, the ginning process, essentially what it's doing is it is stripping down these pods of cotton, cleaning them, moisturizing them, and drying them. And it's happening over and over and over throughout this facility to get as much of a homogenized piece of lint that can then be turned into yarn. Tatum explains this really well. Unfortunately, our microphones sometimes struggle with loud noises, so just thought we'd clear this up so you guys had a better understanding of it.
I have people that want to work for me all the time.
I believe it.
Because
you kind of got me wanting to work for you just in this whole interaction today.
But when my vibes are good, and we have lots of vibrations here,
And we feed off each other.
then it works.
We do
It
feed
works.
off of each other.
Yeah, being that we are women in this type of industry, we do have to interact with the majority of every one of our customers are men.
That's right. It's a
And-
male-dominated business.
Yes.
You said you two are the only female-operated gin that you know in the area, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Solely.
Yep.
These are the gin stands. This is where the action of separating the lint from the seed.
Oh yeah, you can see what's happening at the bottom.
That's the seed. So feel it. Oh, there it is. And this is for cattle feed. Yeah, and it goes to an oil mill and they'll crush it and they for oil for your food.
Oh really?
Yeah, throw it in there.
I don't want to take any of your seeds.
Yeah, throw it in there. Yeah, thank you. Let's go out this way. The finished bales we'll take and we'll put into the van trailer and then it'll go to a warehouse where it's stored until you buy it.
Of that big, like 5,500 round bale.
There's a roughly 4.5 of these in one of those.
And one of those.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay?
Wow.
Yeah. And so off the record, or not off the record, but I did have the New York Times that came here and they highlighted this whole snack tree. The hell with the snack tree, okay? I pride myself in getting the farmer the most out of their crop because the whole moral of the story is I want to do this more than 1 year. I'm going to get as much out of it as possible. All right,
Oh my
so
goodness.
this is a seed house. Sorry, it's a lot of lint. This house can hold up to 1,200 tons.
This is amazing. This is where you make the money.
That's right. And this market goes up and down just like the cotton, the raw cotton. See how little it is?
Yeah.
And see it's still got trash in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they make mattresses out of this and all sorts of things. So I like to pride myself on doing the best I can to give the farmers as many pounds as possible, and because this is all the leftover
This
this
that
right here,
can't be utilized.
They're offering me 10 cents a pound for this right now.
Okay.
10.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, so then look back here. That's the gin trash. Cattle love this. They eat this
They
as
eat
well.
that up.
Sell to the environmental companies that have oil spills.
Yeah.
And that absorbs it, like sucks it up because it's got those little fibers in it.
Yeah.
So that's a great product. So every single thing that comes through the front on that module feeder is utilized in some way or another. There's no waste. This place and its success to me means the world because one, I want the farmers to know that I'm fighting for them because what they do with that bill, that has to happen because if they don't have assistance, then we're not going to be in existence. Nor is my friend that owns the tire store down the road or the hydraulic shop down the road. It's a domino effect because if they go out, several things are going to go out. The fact that there's not anyone that's been able to say that they could facilitate enough people to work in a factory here in the United States and that labor is cheaper somewhere else, there are funds that are available that are not being utilized properly to make things happen.
I'm a little upset that the presidential election already happened because I might have wrote in Tatum after this.
In 1980, 98% of the clothes Americans bought were made here. Now it's like 3%, 2%.
Big shift.
It's a big
You said
shift.
98%
Isn't that crazy? In 1980.
In 1980.
Yeah.
And now it's
2,
3%.
now 2 or 3%. We do have to have a pretty active stance towards workers and making sure that in places like Ohio and North Carolina and South Carolina, cities and rural communities have viable work.
Be able to go back and connect and see all the people that are touching your product if it's made in the USA, that's such good for our industry. But back in the day, man, every textile job that you create, there's a 3-to-1 multiplier. So 3 jobs are created with every direct job that we can kind of create. That's why I'm so passionate about what we do. U.S. cotton's really desired all around the world. And one of the reasons it's desired around the world, one is because it's clean and we have the standards. But the other reason is every bale has an identity. It's called a PBI number.
Yeah.
So when you scan it, you know exactly where it came from. Hold on, I got to show you a legend. This is a legend here.
Oh, yeah.
A legend right here.
What's
Now,
up,
watch
brother?
out.
How
He's
you
a
doing?
Cowboys fan. Watch out.
Oh, look out now. Eagles got after you this past week. They did. Yeah.
Roger's a preacher on Sundays. He's been shipping for us for how long?
What a step.
Sorry I brought an Eagles fan in here.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's all right. You'll let it pass?
That's all right. Yeah, we'll let it pass.
This is the first process. Our team here is unloading hundreds of bales of cotton a day. Again, these bales are mostly grown in the South or Texas.
These are like straight from the gin, right?
From the ring spun and
We
gin.
just saw this
guy,
process, man.
Okay, let's go. He's got it. You have merchants that kind of piece together bales from all the gins in the region, and they sell them to somebody like us at Parkdale. So this is what this baled cotton looks like right now. What you see in there, you see a lot of dirt, stem, and what we have in here is what we call a lot of short fibers that create neps. You start seeing these little balls all over your shirt, you can call that a nep and you can get some textile points. And so we're gonna open these bales up. They're in the laydown, and you see every bale has a chalk mark on it because that is the position it has to be to have a homogeneous blend. This machine right here, this is a top feeder. Imagine a lawnmower that's just going back and forth and taking small little bites. One of the big textile principles, but you gotta blend it.
We're not even talking blend with like polyester,
No.
other material. We're talking about just straight
Well, that
blending
has-
the cotton
yeah.
together
No,
from
yeah.
different regions and what
Exactly.
like that. Yeah. That's what that's pulling out. That's being blown through the ductwork all the way to here.
All the way to here. And then it's coming right here. This is where the mixing happens. So all those tufts fill up these cells, and at the bottom, there's a big roller, so it's dumping from these cells.
Yeah.
So now you're getting more blending. This is where the magic starts to happen.
Yeah.
The dust has been knocked out of it, and a lot of the coarse trash has been knocked out of it. We gotta get it cleaner, and we gotta get the short fiber out. There you go.
Whoa!
So this is the web. Look how clean that is.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's so important,
It almost looks like silk.
the weight has to be perfect, the cleanliness has to be perfect, but the other thing it has to do is we have to orient the fibers. All the fibers were
All over
like this. What you saw now looks like this.
That
And
is
so
insane.
when we look at this,
Dude, that is.
we don't want to see those little nets. We don't want to see that
Yeah.
bark that you saw earlier. All that better not be in here or he's not doing his job. So, and he knows how to do his job.
Yeah, yeah.
So
If it was gonna be there, I would not have done this in front of Davis.
look at the orientation on the fibers.
They're all going in the same
So
direction.
this is the Cadillac. This is the spinning frame.
Yeah.
This is where the yarn is actually made. So these slobber cans are delivered out to these spinning frames, and based on what yarn count you're running, this is where it's going to get made.
Speed of this shaft is gonna determine the weight of the yarn. The more fibers we turn into the rotors, the heavier the yarn will be.
Size of yarn's a big thing because of the weight of the garment. Of
course,
So
yeah.
this frame was set up to run a denim yarn, blue jeans,
denim, yeah.
really thick. You would see that thing turning really hard, and this coil with a slobber may be that thick.
Oh, wow.
Because it's getting fed because it needs to be a portion heavier yarn. Right here, that's wax.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
So what that's doing, because it's a knit yarn, weaving yarn does not need to be waxed. Because of knitting, we have to lubricate every inch of that yarn. So when it goes to a knitting frame, it doesn't cause so much friction and break needles.
How does that thing know when one of these is done and it's trying to?
Oh, great question. So as a new cone gets put in, it's tracking how many yards or meters it's put on the yarn code, and then it'll cut it off. At the end of it, it'll off it. Sits right here. All right, so it knows it's in 126. Now, our system knows that is in 126.
Yeah.
126 is going to go back. 126 needs to be in this lane because that's the pallets that are getting made for underdog.
This is not a good example, but that's a knitting machine. Tapping all these cones of yarn are getting pulled in, and this machine was running, spins. You can see the fabric getting knitted down there.
Got it.
And so that fabric gets rolled,
Yep.
and that's gray cloth. There's no color or texture on it yet.
Yeah.
And that'll go, in your case, to South Fork, which is the finishing plant, and that's going to have color put into it and texture put into it.
Got it.
And those are the two steps you're missing. And then that finished roll from South Fork goes to Eagle and gets cut by Tom.
This yarn's got to travel a little bit. These knitting needles that you can see right here, these move very, very fast. On a woven yarn, like the pants that you're wearing there, you don't need that because the fabric's made differently.
Tell just by looking at the pants.
Oh, you can tell too. You'll be all over that in about a month. You're already talking ring spun, pilling. You got the PhD, man.
Any fabric that's got mechanical stretch in it, like your t-shirt,
Yeah.
right? That is a knit.
A woven has no mechanical stretch unless you put a synthetic fiber in it.
I gotta give you the community notes on that after the tour.
That's basically right.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Don't freaking take my detail.
All right, to make skinny jeans like Byard's wearing, you gotta have maybe dual stretch on
By
there.
the way, if you're not American made, what are these?
I got like 1,000 pairs. I'm the biggest customer, man. I love your stuff.
Reminder, we're gonna miss the next 2 steps. It goes from the yarning facility to a facility that's gonna turn it into fabric, and then from that facility, it'll go and be dyed into the color that it will eventually be. We didn't have time for those 2 steps, so we're gonna pick it up at the final step where this fabric is gonna be cut and sewn into the garment that is being made.
Is interesting to me is the concept of the underdog.
Yeah.
And the sort of, you know, U.S. manufacturing is an underdog, right? It's
It's an underdog. William, Jason, good to meet you, brother.
Same here. Come at a good time. When cotton was
This is the right time, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm excited to see this process. I like that you got like a little window in here. You're always being watched.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this?
All my life, 40 years.
40 years, really?
I've been in this building for 24 years.
That's amazing.
big time runner.
Big time runner.
He is a big time runner.
What kind of, I'm the opposite of running.
Oh, wow.
Is it hard to find the quality workers in this industry in the U.S. right now?
At the time it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the first year I've had problems. Usually we've never had problems before. And
Why is it?
Interesting.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out myself.
A little American giant.
Oh, there we
How
go.
you doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I'm good. I'm good.
Jason.
Yeah, oh, I know him.
Good to meet you, brother.
He made my day when they beat the Patriots.
Do you remember the first one you ever cut? Did it come out? Oh,
Yeah, I do remember the first one I ever cut.
Cutting knife here. Todd wears this chainmail in his hand.
I feel like I'm ready to have a sword fight.
You can see these are like different parts.
Yeah, different parts of the jacket or whatever it is.
And so all of these pieces in between, this is waste fabric, right? So
Yeah.
like one of the arts is making sure that you're getting the most yield out of your spreads.
So it goes from here. You're stacking the
Like
pieces
this.
that are the same,
Like this.
and then it's going out to those ladies out there, and they're sewing it all together. And
So these are
this is the specific piece for the specific
Yeah, that goes to the side panel.
garment.
Yeah, that's actually what you got on right there.
That side
This
panel.
is it.
That side panel. Yeah, that side panel.
Yeah.
This right here.
This rib, right there. Yep.
Yeah.
yeah. So and obviously this thing will come together in steps, right?
And that's what those different modules are. Like everybody does their specific part.
If that line is working perfectly, the way it ought to work is, let's just say there was the 3 of us, you, me, and Todd. It's only as fast as the slowest person on that line. You start sewing, you pass to me, I do steps 3, 4, and 5. I pass to Todd, he does 6, 7, and 8, finished product, folded, done, off the end of the line. We're going, but Todd's having a bad day, so we slow him down a little bit. I might take my steps from 3, 4, 5 and go into 6. The last half an hour in a batch line, everyone just kind of starts to slow down. There's no incentive to kind of keep going. The opposite happens in modular. The people are like, we've got another half an hour. Let's get another 15 garments out because we'll get bonused.
It was a training curve.
I believe it.
It's worth it at the end. This team is doing your hoods and the pocket. They're doing the sleeves. So that's all the parts together. Then it comes over to here and assembling them, then send it out, get a wash, get the shrinkage out of it. And then it goes to your post-wash team over there. They put the zipper in, set the tape and everything.
How often are you guys checking the quality control of this line at the end
All
of the
the
day?
time. Yeah, I've got a lady here, don't make sure she's in the bathroom, and I got another quality person there.
Roughly like one every how many are they probably checking?
It's 300, you got a certain percent you have to check, it's 400, depending on how big it is.
That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. Oh, that's my quality lady. Checking
She's-
some Navy stuff right now.
Yeah, 176 this line is.
Yeah, these two teams were our first 2 teams that we started.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
They've been here for a while.
they know what they're doing.
Were you guys doing similar things before you linked up? Like, is it pretty much the exact same process, but with just other clothing brands?
The American Giant, I mean, it has all the bells and whistles, really put together very well.
Yes.
So it was a learning process. When we first looked at it, we were like, it's no way in heck we can make this.
Yeah.
But with the right machinery and investment from American Giant and all, we bought machinery that were high lift and everything else, so that, because right in here, when you come up to here, you're talking 3 and 4 ply that you're putting together. And if you don't have a high lift machine, you're gonna cause a needle hole.
Is this hoodie a good marathon hoodie? It's cold out.
It can be, yes sir. Yes sir.
Pretty remarkable how many steps there are, the technology that is involved in making this stuff now, but also in just how many people touch every single article of clothing. I mean, this sweatshirt right here is made by American Giant. And everybody you saw today was involved in making this. From Andrew, Tatum and Ivy at the gin, the yarning facility at Parkdale, and the cut and sew facility, Eagle Sportswear. Listen, I'm not naive. I know that every article of clothing is not going to be made in the United States. And I don't know that it should be. I don't think it should be. I don't think that's in the best interest of the United States and the American economy. But I do think it's important to be conscious as a consumer, to know where products are from and what goes into making them. And I think it's important that we support local economies, communities, farmers, gin workers. And we saw, the passion in Tatum and her efforts to support her farmers that come to her with cotton. We saw a story about people that are involved in every step of this process. And I think sometimes when you go and buy a shirt, there's not a face behind it. And I kind of like all the faces I met behind this. Now I get to wear this and think about all those people every time. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and you enjoyed the video. How do you think Andrew's doing with those twins right now? Probably chaos in his household.